This is what parts of my garden look like right now, and it has been a bird and bee and butterfly magnet, and it has been loads of fun to watch it fill up with color and just flush out and provide some beautiful habitat for some of the nature's creatures that we always want in our garden. But as us gardeners always know, when one part of your garden looks good, there's always another part that needs some of your love, care, and attention. And today we're going to go ahead and work on that. So come on, let me show you. So this is the area that I am going to be working on today. It is right in the corner of our driveway. It's right by the sidewalk. We have a ton of pedestrians that are always walking by. They're always admiring the garden beds along the lower end of the house. And then they walk by this mess. There's weeds growing in the crevices of the sidewalk that are seeping into the garden bed itself. The Burberry is completely overgrown. There's weeds everywhere, and the lamb's ear has completely taken over. The other thing is everything is very one note. Nothing is different textures, nothing is different heights or sizes. So we're gonna come in here and we're gonna fix all of that today. The first thing that I'm going to do is start removing the plants that aren't working. So the Dutzia, now I've heard it pronounced two different ways. I've heard it pronounced Dutzia, I've heard it pronounced Deutsche. I'm not 100% sure, but that does absolutely nothing in this area. So we're going to be moving that out. We're going to be moving out some of these annuals that I planted in here that the deer have somehow eaten. These bugs are going to be killing me all day. I'm going to start thinning out the lamb's ear because I do have some salvias planted in here and you can't even see it. So I'm going, as much as I love lamb's ear, they can spread really aggressively. So I'm going to start moving that into other areas of the garden bed. And so the first thing I'm going to do is create some space, and then I'm going to tell you all about the, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different plants that are going to make its way back in. All right, now that I've cleaned out the bed, trimmed up some of the hedges, got rid of all that lamb's ear and tidied things up in general, time to start adding some things back in. The first thing that we're gonna start with is something that is actually a native cultivar here, and it is Rudbeckia Indian Summer. Now, some of these stems are broken because it is quite windy and they did flop around in the bed of my truck a little bit, but these are nice and tall. And so I'm going to start with these because they're going to go into the tallest part of the bed, which is towards the tree that I have over there. These are biennial plants, so this is really important to note. A biennial is basically considered a very short-lived perennial. Biennial means that when it seeds, that first year it's spending its energy basically developing its root system, so it's not going to bloom. It blooms its second year, which means that this is a 2-year-old plant, and then it's going to completely die back. So what I am not expecting these to come back next year, because knowing that it blooms only in its second year, I know that this is a 2-year-old plant. They do self-seed quite freely, so I'm just going to let it self-seed. Now, one of the viewers did make a very good observation and a good comment on one of my videos. Self-seeding is not always the most reliable because it needs ideal conditions for it to self-seed. So in order for it to self-seed, you want to do one of two things. You want to make sure that your bed is not heavily mulched, because those seedlings won't have a place to germinate, or it'll basically just not allow the seedling to grow and get the access to sunlight that it needs. So either don't mulch your bed. That includes leaf mulch, so don't put too much leaf mulch over the top of your bed, or just collect your seeds at the end of the season and save them for next year, and then go ahead and plant them from that way. I'm probably gonna do both. I'm gonna let it self-seed. I'm gonna share some with the birds, obviously, and then I'm probably also going to collect a few of the seeds for myself for next year so I can really control where it's going to be. Now along the back border over here, I opened up some space between the lamb's ear and the dusty miller, and I'm going to add this denim and lace Russian sage from Proven Winners. Now this has been out for quite a while. If you're not familiar with it, it is a much more compact, more well-behaved form of a Russian sage. So it gets only 28 to 32 inches tall. It stays nice and compact so it doesn't flop all over the place, but it has the same qualities of your regular Russian sage. It does not like well-fertilized soil. In fact, I am not using any type of fertilizer in this garden bed because it doesn't need it. It likes drought conditions, so it prefers not to be watered a lot, which is great because I don't really have, I have sprinklers that reach here. They don't go off very often and it just doesn't get watered. I don't run drip here at all. Hummingbird, butterfly magnet, pollinators love it. And it just adds a really beautiful, whimsical add to the garden bed. And I love these little stiff upright stems. They pair beautifully with coneflowers. All right, next we have Magnus purple coneflower, and this has been around forever. This is something that is a very basic plant, but packs a very big punch. Now, it is not a hybrid, which means that it does retain a lot of the nutritional value for your insects and your pollinators, which is great, and it will attract a lot of those insects and pollinators, as well as those goldfinches that love those seed heads. So this is going to go off to the side a little bit. These do get a little bit taller. They are perennials, so they will come back year over year, and they will also self-seed true because they're not hybrids. So now starting to add some of the shorter height towards the front of the bed, we have this Sunseeker Coneflower. So this gets about 12 to 24 inches tall. It is a much more compact hybrid version of a coneflower. Now, some of you may know, I've been discussing this a lot over the past couple of weeks. Hybrid coneflowers do not seed true to their parent. So from their genetics, they seed true sometimes, but more often than not, they revert back to your purple Echinacea, which is also just as beautiful. But I just want you to be aware, just so you can level set your expectations. Also, hybrids, generally speaking, are not as beneficial. Even though they do attract a lot of pollinators into the garden, they are not as beneficial from a nutritional value perspective. But they are still gorgeous, and they still can have a space in your garden if you are looking to create something that is a little bit more vibrant and colorful. So let's get this in. All right, now one of the last plants that I'm going to be putting in is this Allium Millennium, which is a sister plant to the Serendipity Allium. I have the Serendipity Allium in my garden bed. It is an absolute magnet for bees and butterflies and pollinators. It is absolutely stunning. Now this one is a little bit different. It's still an allium, meaning that it's still an onion, so it's going to be completely resistant to your rabbits and your deer, which is fantastic. The bloom heads on this one are a little bit smaller, and it doesn't get necessarily quite as wide as your Serendipity allium. So this is going to go towards the front of the bed. Now, against my better judgment, I dug out some of the stonecrop from another part of my garden, which is basically like a sedum, because I love the texture and the color of the dark burgundy leaves mixed with these really bright pink flowers. The reason why it's against my better judgment is because deer and bunnies love this, so I am going to have to make sure to spray religiously, but I think it's going to pair beautifully. So let me know in the comments below what areas of your garden bed you guys are working on right now. Are you editing? Are you adding? Or are you just waiting for this crazy heat to pass? I hope you guys are having a good day, and I'll see you in the garden.